Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of Ask Me Anything. As usual, opposite me, we have Kim Shaw. Kim, would you like to say hello?
Hello.
Do you want to say anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay, that's all she's got tonight. And so I'm here to answer any of your questions. Sorry we were running a little late tonight, but I did say that I have mummy duties, and I took Pearson to a baseball game that I actually basically screwed up without time here. So he did quite well, so that's good. Anyway, take care of baby first. So thank you for tuning in. I think this suits the West Coast more too tonight. So welcome everyone from the West Coast.
Not so much England.
Not so much England.
Sorry about England.
I apologise to my brother. My brother was going to tune in, but it's way past his bedtime now. So I'm sorry about that, Dave. Probably my mother may be tuning in because she's she stays up too late these days.
She's a night owl,
she is a night owl. So if she's there, hello, Mum. Hopefully we'll see her. But it might be a bit late for her. She might be probably a bingo or something. So, Kim, have we got any questions?
We do have some questions. We go straight into it. When are we going to do the
No, no, don't mention the draw for the queue yet. No, not ready. We're building up.
Okay, all right. Right, straight into it then. What do you think about three cushion?
Oh, three cushion billiards. Well, I will say this. I've only played it twice in my life. I think it's a great game. It's not something I grew up on or has played in England or so much in the US. There are places that have really nice three cushion equipment. What I will say is that Ga-Young Kim from Korea, great player that I played this weekend, but we'll come back to that. Her knowledge of kicking and banking has come from, well, not banking actually, because there's no pockets on the three cushion table. That would be silly, wouldn't it? But her kicking knowledge has definitely come from her three cushion background, and she's definitely one of the best kickers in the game. So she started out playing three cushion billiards in Korea. And on talking to her this last weekend, she said that is the most popular game still over there. And they're not really into pool right now, but I'm sure that's a growing sport, seeing as she's a young superstar over there. So yeah, I think it's great for your game to learn the rail systems and the kick systems, but it's hard to access really good equipment of three cushion, I think.
A question from Bob Dar, but I think he might have the wrong person because he said Alice. And then he's followed it up with...
Is Alice?
And then he's followed it up with, how do you stay so young and good looking? So he's definitely got the wrong person.
Oh, well, thank you, Kim. I think that part you added, I'm not so sure. Thank you very much for that.
All right, let's move on swiftly.
Oh, that was it. I don't get to even answer that.
Oh, you can, I'm sorry.
Be young at heart. Have a young spirit. I think that helps. My mum's like that. See, my mum is coming up to 79 years old, and you wouldn't believe it, would you? The way she is.
Yeah, she's
positivity.
Great. She laughs a lot. She
laughs.
Takes herself lightly.
Yeah, we laugh.
You
have to laugh.
Don't take things too seriously. Aaron Purdy, hello Aaron, is a friend of mine.
He might be Aaron. Is he Aaron or Aaron?
A-A-R-O-N.
Aaron.
Okay, Aaron Purdy. Show us that trophy you just won. It looks beautiful. Do you want me to get it?
I thought you would never ask. But I was going to bring it out later. Kim, it's behind you. Right. That big cup behind you. Massive cup.
I can lift it.
She's not used to that.
Not used to holding a cup. Trophy.
Present me with it.
Congratulations.
Oh, look at that. There it is. There it is. There's Kim. Look, you can see a reflection of her.
Oh, and there's somebody else here as well. I should have put her in the trophy. Karen's still here, by the way.
She's residing in my house for the moment.
We need to start charging her rent.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there it is. There's Karen Kaur saying hi again. Thank you for popping in. That's very nice. Guest appearance.
Again, yeah.
And then the trophy once again. Do you want me to smile with it and you can take a picture?
Oh, I love that.
We'll come back to that because that was probably one of the best matches of my career, I think. So if you missed it, that's a bit of bad luck. Means I'll have to try and do it again, but
I saw it. It was very good.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Kim liked
it. Jordan Jamal Purifay.
We really get them, don't we? We really get the names.
This is really testing me. You have a great approach to the game. What motivated you to want to play the game with Paul? We've probably touched on this before, but...
Well, my career started out in snooker, which was on a 12 by 6 foot table. So that taught me really good technique and fundamentals. Coming to Paul in 1995, I enjoy the creativity of the game. There's so much to it. It's not just about making balls. It's about great safeties, kicking, and that's an art in itself. So I really enjoy that. And just, I like going through the whole process. I like the whole process of delivering the cue exactly where I want to make contact with it at the right time. And so I enjoy that process on every shot. So that's really, that's the thing I love about playing the game, I think. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm just going through.
I'm
sorry. It's a bit later.
Oh, yeah, I know, it's a bit past their bedtime.
Okay, there's loads of congratulations and well done on your comeback. Did you go anywhere?
No, but I did come back.
Only you can go nowhere and come back.
Boom, boom. We're at it, the caffeine's kicking in.
We're here all night, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one.
Go on.
I actually have this. This is from Kim Shaw.
Oh, it's an original.
What ball do you look at when you strike the cue ball?
Ooh.
Do you look at the cue ball or the object ball? Because I had a little
discussion
with Scott Buzzard, a work colleague of mine, and we decided it was quite interesting because when you play golf, golfers look at the golf ball. They don't look at the hole.
Well, we don't look at the pocket, but we have two balls.
But we don't look at, well, I don't, and I'm sure you don't look at the cue ball. You look at the object ball. So I just answered your question for you.
She thinks she answered it.
I think I did. Okay.
She hasn't answered it. She's about to go on to something else, and I haven't even opened my mouth.
No. What ball do you look at?
Oh, well, you're coming back to it now, in case I forgot what it was. Yeah. All right. Well, for most of the shots, I look at the object ball last, not the cue ball.
That's throwing me for a loop.
So I look at the object ball last, okay? And then for some shots, and I'll give you examples, jump shot, masse shot. I like to sometimes cueing from the rail, maybe sometimes the break if I'm not hitting it super accurately. What else is another one? The jump, the masse. Oh, and bridging over a ball. They're the times that I would look at the cue ball last.
Actually, I take that back. I did think you looked at the object ball. Yeah. Most players do.
I knew she thought that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like Stephen Hendry looks at the cue ball.
What he does is he looks at the pocket. He has a glance at the pocket, and Karen Core does that too.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
There are only two people I know that do that.
Yeah.
They sort of look between the balls, glance at the pocket that they're aiming at, and then come back to the ball.
Yeah, that's. I don't think you find that in any coaching book.
Very unusual.
Do you drink coffee before you match?
That's actually a good question, because this weekend, if I'm flagging a bit, I will pop out in the interval. You know, if I'm on my 5-minute break, I will go out, and if I need a coffee, I'll get it. If I need a little bit of a caffeine pick me up. But during the match this weekend, or the matches this weekend, it was quite cold in the arena. So sometimes I would just go out there just to get something hot in my hands and, you know, just to warm me up inside, because it was quite cold. And sort of mid-match, if I felt like I had enough energy, which I did for the most part, I would just get the decaf. So what I don't like is some coffees make my heart race a lot. So I don't like that feeling, especially if you're under a bit of pressure too. That's just going to make everything a lot worse. So yes, I do drink coffee. I usually have a couple of cups in the morning anyway. And so it's not unusual for me. But during the tournament, if I feel like I need it, yes, I will.
Before tournament, do you practice more or do you practice less? That's from John.
I think the day or two before I don't do as much, funnily enough. And I was talking to a friend of mine called Barry, and we were discussing that, and he spoke to Jim Rempe once, and Jim Rempe said to him, that he didn't like to practice much the week before the tournament, so that by the time the tournament came around, he was kind of hungry to play.
Right.
So you really have to want to play. You don't want to be all burned out and stale by the time you get to the table. But at the same time, you have to feel like you deserve something, that you've got confidence and that you've done enough work. So a lot of it depends on your mindset and, you know, just how you approach a table. For me, it's just more of a mental game, because I think with my stroke, it's easy to duplicate every time. You know, I've got a very meticulous type of stroke.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so, and I can correct quickly. So it's really about picking something to work on during that tournament for me to get my head mentally sound.
Good. Here's a question from Denise Banja. Hi, Denise.
How do you say her last name?
Belanger.
Oh, Belanger, is it?
Belanger, there we go.
Is it? I think
I
it's like
know.
that. Tell us yes or no.
Maybe she'll correct
yes
us.
or no. Is it Belanger? I think.
What was the difference between your play in China in comparison to...
That's an excellent question.
Ho Chunk Classic.
It's a great name. Right, that's interesting, because I went to China, 2 weeks ago, right before this tournament. And I had a nightmare, really. I got there, I felt good. I wanted to go to China because I thought, oh, you know, I've got a chance to do really well here. And I went 2 and out in the tournament, and I should never have done that. I just, for some reason, I don't know why, I couldn't get the head into it, get focused. I don't know what it is. It might have been the sleep patterns. I'm not really sure. But it's almost like my head, I couldn't get as determined to get that fire going. And I think it was just, I don't know, you get a heaviness in your head, I think, if you're not sleeping right. We're 12 definitely. Hours different.
Yeah.
And
what about the atmosphere and everything there?
It is different, and the conditions are different. The rails were playing really slow. Cloth was playing all right, and it's a different type of cloth. There aren't really any excuses, because the 2 players that I played, I should have beaten them. So there's no excuses. And sometimes if you get over those little tight matches, I lost 7-6 and 7-5. If you get over those little tight matches, then you can think about how to improve on, you know, maybe when you're playing better players. So I just didn't get that opportunity, because I know some things I would have thought about and changed had I had the chance. But it was so, I went 2 and out in the tournament. I got on a plane the next day after I lost, came home because I thought I want to acclimatise for the Ho Chunk tournament, the WPBA tournament in Wisconsin, which was a good move on my part. So I came home on a Saturday, left for the tournament on Thursday, and ended up winning that tournament. So it's interesting. I've gone 2 and out, and mentally I'm like, oh, you know, come back from that to winning a tournament and beating the best players in the world. So it was really an opportunity to start again. I'm in my own country, own sleep conditions, own food, the equipment that I'm comfortable playing on too. So a lot of differences, and I felt very determined. I felt the fire and the hunger come back, and that is a big deal. I got the drive back like I was 20 years ago. So that
it was a bit of vintage.
It was vintage
very
performances.
Vintage Fisher there.
So I was really, really, really happy. I can't even tell you how happy, because 2nd or 3rd doesn't cut it. So, you know, when you're at a certain stage, winning a tournament is like, you know, finishing the job, really doing the job well. So absolutely delighted to have won that event. That's and a big tournament for me.
Mike Amradova.
I really
move on quickly.
Do you know, I really need to read the names myself, I think. But, hi, Mike.
No, Almadova. That's correct.
Good.
By the way, you pronounced Denise Bologna's name correctly.
Thank you.
Do you do more drills or run racks?
Well, that's a good one too, because when I was younger, I only did drills. I would do about 4 hours a day of drills. And I like doing that because it's quite competitive all the time, and you've always got something to beat. And I feel like I need to get back into that a little bit. So I think a nice little mix is good. I've been playing somebody a lot lately, and I like that because that's match practice. But I think a little combo of drills and match play is good, even if you play the ghost, even if you don't have people around you to play. Playing the ghost is good. So yeah, I think drills are good because it's time alone at the table to really focus on specific things that you may want to work on. And it also, when I'm playing alone, it gives me time to really think about if the stroke feels right, if it doesn't feel right, what I can correct. And when I play some of the great players like Guy Young, Chen Seaman, I'm always watching what they're doing, and I notice everything. I notice all the little things that they've changed or they're working on. And so you can really never stop learning at the game. And I learned something from Guy Young this weekend, which I'm going to put into my own game. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to see it for yourself.
Wow.
See if you notice it. Sorry.
That's a great lesson, though, if you're still learning.
Yeah.
Really,
always.
Really, yeah.
Because
very good lesson.
You've got to keep up, with everyone. At one point, I was keeping up with somebody, then people were keeping up with me. Now you're keeping up with younger players, people are
because
dominating.
People are improving all the time.
So you have to find ways to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you stagnate, everyone's going to overtake. So I enjoy that. I enjoy the process and I enjoy the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Good. Right. Sorry.
I just read one there.
Okay, go on.
And it was about how do you worry about leaving your cue sticks in the hands of baggage handlers when you're going overseas or domestically. And you can't really worry about that. If you worry about that, you'd never travel. So it's something I don't really think about because I've got no control over it. So I hope they get off there at the other end and I get my cues, quite frankly.
You're lucky. Joe Hodge, give him a fist pump. There we go.
Did you get that?
Somebody asked about, is it graphite cues or carbon
fibre?
Carbon fibre cues.
That seems to be the new thing at the Mo, is carbon fibre. And stays really clean. It takes a lot of beating up. You can't beat it up. It's going to stay like new, but they are about $500 a piece. Personally, I haven't really spent much time with one, so I'm not going to really give a complete opinion on it. But having felt it and just hearing it a little bit, don't get me wrong, I might be in like a year's time using carbon fibre. But at the moment, I'm true to wood. I just love the feeling and the sound of wood.
Yeah.
And so that's, for me at the moment, I think it's taken off because marketing's very good on it.
Right.
So playability-wise, I'm not really sure because I haven't spent enough time with it. So I don't want to knock it if I haven't tried it so much. And there are plenty of top players playing with it, but that's more for sponsorship purposes as well, I think.
VR Nicastro, do you offer lessons? Where
I do offer lessons. You can go through my website, AllisonFisherCues.com or AllisonFisher.com. So I do one-day lessons, I do individual lessons, and I at some point will do my academy in Charlotte again. It's but I'm not quite there yet with that. Not back to that yet. I mean, I'm more into playing at the moment. Got some tournaments coming up in the near future.
Michael Fortune. Are you going to do any live drills?
Yeah, I will at some point. I've just got to get ready to do that. I could do that soon. I just need to set up downstairs, but I will do that. I certainly will do that. Even if I'm just posting some drills for people to see. But yes, that's something that will happen.
You need to have a little vacuum and dust. Okay.
You need to go and dust the table off, clean the balls and all that. Wipe the windows.
Let's see. Your favourite male pool player?
I really like Niels Fayen. I think, and one of the reasons for that, I like his approach to the game in the sense of his routine. He's a solid player. You've probably all seen him play in the Moscone, and He's intimidating. He goes up to the table and you can see the hunger, and he doesn't want to lose, and he's just always constantly there, 100%. And I like his discipline around the table. He's got good body language. I like his cueing, you know, his routine at the table. Yeah, so I like the intensity of Neil's. But there's so many great players. I mean, stroke-wise, Jason Shaw's got a great stroke. Chris Melling, I'm sure they'd like the shout out, you know, because they've been asking me questions on this.
Oh,
yeah. You know, but they're great. They've got. I was being kind of a bit funny about them then, but great. I've just spent some time with them in China, and yeah, I mean, I think Jason finished second, losing to I think it was. I'm not sure. Was it Ko Pin Yi who won it? I think it was. Pretty sure. And yeah, it was. I spent some time in the practice room around him, and he's got a fantastic stroke, really smooth.
Yeah. As
is Chris. So yeah, they're very impressive too.
Yeah. British, of course.
Yeah. Well, you know, don't say anything.
How much longer would you like to play? That's from Ricky Mitchell.
If you asked this, that's funny, because if you asked Gerda years ago, I used to say to her, "Oh, I'm finishing soon." It would be like come out of my mouth every 5 years.
All right.
And that's been about 30 years ago. No, but I've kept saying it a long time. I think, you know, I'm ready to quit now. And not so long ago I was saying that, but I found a bit more motivation and passion to play, I think. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it again. So it's like it's come full circle for me. So I enjoy competing. I've definitely cut down on the overseas. I think I'm going to play in the World Championships this year in China, which is in December, but I'm not sure after that. But the WPBA is coming back strong, and I think next year they're going to have many more events. So I'm really looking forward to playing more domestically. That I'm going to really enjoy.
Great. Bill Larson, do you use a low deflection shaft?
I do. Joe P. Chow makes my Allison Fisher cues, and I do use a low deflection. I use a 12.5mm tip and shaft diameter. Using a Kamui, medium Kamui on it, soft Kamui right now. Yeah, and I love the way it plays. I've got a brass joint in my cue, especially made for that particular cue, and it's Coca-Cola and maple, and it's available on my site. You can buy the same cue as me if you want to. Kim, just letting you know.
Oh,
just saying.
on your website, is there a link here somewhere?
No, but you can come on this page, and I'll put a link to it. Yes, and if you want, on Facebook. And again, you can go to AllisonFisherCues.com.
Andrew Gray, do you have any books or other reference sources? I'm sorry, my questions are jumping all over the place. That can help me with my aim.
I don't.
All right.
I don't have any books out there, if that's what you're talking about. That is a project at some point. Let me write that in my notes, a book.
Things to do.
Drills, yeah, my to-do list. Yeah, aiming, gosh. I'm trying to think.
Any tips on it then?
Well, as a snooker player, I learned all the cut angles, like full ball, half ball, quarter ball, three-quarter ball. Learning to align your body to the shot. You know, I tend to put my right leg on the line of the shot and stand very square at the table. So that's one thing. That's really from my snooker background. But I notice a lot of players are doing that now, especially in the female game. Chen Si-ming, Guyon Kim.
What are they doing?
They're standing very square at the table. So that's interesting. So aiming, it's about body alignment, about sighting, you know, out of your. Now we all sight differently. Karen Kaur sights out of this eye. I sight slightly. It's awkward for me when I'm slightly here, right in between, but favouring probably the left. Kim's very left eye dominant. So a lot of it's in the approach to the shot, how you get your head on the line of the shot. So that's one part. the feet going in is another part, body alignment. So you've got your head alignment, your body alignment following, and just staring the ball down. There's a spot, there's an aiming point and a contact point. The contact point is the furthest point from the pocket on the ball, and then the aiming point is going to vary, but it's obviously like 1.25 inches out from the ball. So the contact point. The aiming point's 1.25 inches out from the ball, because the ball is 1.8 inches, 2.25 in its diameter. So I'd have to be at the table to explain that. I hope that's making some sense to you. But anyway, one day I'll be at the table and we'll go through that. But everyone aims differently. First of all, learn your cut angles. It could be slicing the ball and matching it up. Like whatever the cut angle is on the object ball, you're using the same part of the cue ball, the same amount. So if it's a half ball cut, for example, half of a cue ball is going to cover half of the object ball, quarter to quarter. So it's always the same on both balls.
Mark Riperda, would you agree a little harder tip is more forgiving than a softer tip?
That sounds right. I don't use a hard tip, I use a medium, so I kind of fall somewhere in between. I don't like a soft tip because it's too spongy. I don't like that spongy feel. And what you're saying basically is with a spongier soft tip, it's going to absorb more, I would say. So, but if you're using a hard tip, you've got to make sure you're chalking up a lot. And the sound of a hard tip, I'm not a fan of. You know, sometimes that can sound like you're miscuing, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure with that. I just don't like the sponginess of a soft tip, that lack of feeling, I should say.
Terence Millman wants you to know that his wife is from China. There's no question, that's it.
Ni hao.
Okay.
To his wife.
Hello, wife from China. Any preference in tables?
Well, we played a WPBA tour at the moment on diamond tables, and they can be tricky sometimes, but I like that. I always have said that if you can play on a diamond ball table, you can pretty much play on anything, just because it can vary with the atmosphere quite a lot. The shelf of the slate goes into the pocket further, which means more balls hang up if you're not accurate. So I kind of like that. Whereas the, let's say Brunswick, for example, because that's another common table in the marketplace, those two. They're probably a little more forgiving, pockets size-wise, but not always. They're not all like that. Rails run true, I think, with the Brunswicks as they do the diamonds, but the rails run a little bit shorter on the diamonds. So to give you an example, let's say I was kicking from the side pocket to the corner pocket and I'm aiming at that middle diamond. Well, on a gold crown, for example, I would aim through the diamond from the side pocket. On a diamond table, I would aim parallel with the diamond to the rail. So in other words, maybe 1 inch or so further down because it comes off the rail shorter. So that gives you a little bit of, you know.
What do they play in China?
In China, they play on different varieties of tables. Predominantly, it's called a star table, and it plays like a gold crown.
Right, so it's a bit more generous.
So which is interesting because, you know, a couple of the Chinese players have come over to America to play in our last couple of WPBA tournaments and have struggled a bit with the diamond table and the speed. So, you know, that tells a lot, I think. But it's fun, though, because I like the fact that ball is in different conditions. That's what you want. It's like being a golfer. You know, if it's rainy, sunny, it's going to vary.
You just have to adapt,
the grass, you know. So, yeah, you have to. A great player is able to adapt.
Yeah, and not moan about the conditions. Just get on with it.
Well, everyone's got the same conditions.
Yeah. So. James Ray Davis Jr. That was easy. When are you coming back to Texas?
Oh, I miss Texas. I haven't been there in ages. I haven't been there probably in a few years. Gosh, I don't think there's any plans to at the moment, but Talk to Vivian. Maybe she'll put on a tournament in Texas, seeing as she's the Texas Tornado.
That's true. Randy, I can't pronounce his last name. What keeps you motivated?
Maybe you shouldn't try anyone's last names the way it's going. I apologise in advance if she butchers your name.
Like Dribblebus.
Randy, anyway.
Randy, what keeps you motivated after all this success?
Well, I think I just got motivated again. I think I've just found a new passion and love for it again. So that's a really nice place to be in. I'm enjoying the challenges and playing and competition again. And I think I'm enjoying the fact that there's a little bit more competition now, because you know, when you're not playing and not competing a lot, you lose a bit of an edge. And when you compete, you're not as confident, or you're not as match fit.
You don't compete.
So when you're not competing. So playing my friend, for example, down the local, I always play hard. When I'm at the table, and it doesn't matter who I'm playing, I'm going to play to the best of my ability, because otherwise I'm not doing myself any justice. I'm not learning. I'm not putting in 100% on every shot. And therefore, if I start missing balls and I'm not trying my best, it's going to have an adverse effect on my mental game, on my confidence. So I always like to try hard for every shot. And I think that becomes a nice habit, you know, then every time you're at the table, it becomes more natural and easier.
Great. Dennis Beck, any advice to get better at pattern play?
I think watching great players. You can go on YouTube, you can watch matches, maybe try and predict what they're going to do. And but if you watch a lot of pattern play, it all makes sense. There's some players who always play the right shot, and they're the players that you want to keep watching.
Do you play any golf? You reference golf?
No, I don't. I don't play any golf because I don't really have the time to. And also, if I don't do something well, I don't really want to do it.
That means you're no good then, right? Okay, moving on.
I can hit the ball. I can. I can.
Can you scuff it though? Okay, Bobby Kinsey, what's the most difficult shot you've ever made? I might be able to vouch for this, because I might have been on the receiving end of that shot of a lifetime.
I wonder if we can flip the camera here. I'd like her. No, I don't think we can, because I'd like her face when she talks. She's grimacing a little bit. It's hurting her a little bit.
Right now, I want a hole to swallow me up.
Do you want to talk about the greatest shot of all time?
No, you talk about it. But let me just say something. When you went to the table, I was absolutely convinced.
US Open final.
I would get back at the table. I said, "Oh no."
She was sitting there 4-2 up. What was the score?
It was. I think it was 4-all or something like that.
Big
I was
race to what?
Just
7.
Just not to blow my own trumpet, but I was actually 4-1 up against you. Anyway, all that matters is the victory.
It means nothing.
But yeah, so you had a 3-ball. And it's actually on your website if people want to look for it. You found it the other day.
Look for a match of me playing Kim Shaw.
There's a 3-ball that she plays.
There's a 3-ball in the middle of a match that was the shot of the century.
It was a turning point.
She thought she was going to get back and win the match.
I don't think I'd missed the ball up until that point.
And the shot is this. Picture this, people.
Get a thingy. All
right. This is what pool players do, isn't it?
There's a table. Get the right person.
Shall I get that? Yeah. Can I have permission to use this, Kim?
Yeah. Do you want me to draw it?
Yeah, Kim's going to draw it.
You just chat away.
So anyway, this shot.
Okay. So
she put me in front of another cue ball in front of another ball. So I was elevated in the backhand, and it was a half ball cut into the corner pocket. But not only was it a half ball cut, but you had to play it at a certain pace.
I can't remember where the 4 was.
Well, I came. What I did was I made the 3 and landed perfectly on the 4. If I say so myself.
So that's the 3-ball. That's the cue ball there.
Look, this is the shot. I'm here. Wait, I'm here. That's the cue ball. So I'm elevated cue, standing behind the cue ball.
You're hampered by another ball. We call that Chinese.
I hope that didn't offend anyone.
No. All right, or English. I don't know.
Let me just
politically correct.
Right, so make that ball in a corner pocket over there. She hasn't put any pocket. We're on a 3-cushion table here. And then we go like that. Oh, wrong way. Wait, I can't. There.
Hang on.
Down here for the 4.
I've got it, yeah.
Well, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, go on, let's
bring it forward. Bring it forward.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm sitting over here.
No, you're over there. She's over the other side.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And I know I'm ahead in this match, but I'm sitting in my chair thinking, I just want another chance at the table, and I know I'm going to get it. And you hit that, and I thought, well, you've got to go for it because safety is difficult. Yeah. So you hit it perfect pace.
She's about to get out of her seat.
I am. I'm chalking my cue, actually. I'm rubbing my hands and chalking my cue.
Yeah.
And you play it perfect pace, and the cue ball comes here, 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 and perfect on the 4, which is somewhere around here, and then you run out. I mean, not only was that a great shot under pressure. That's the thing.
And I went on to win that match.
You did.
And the US Open title. Thank you very much. Right.
Well done.
Hi, Andy. Andy from Andy Cloth, I believe. He's from Taiwan, and I just saw him in China a couple of weeks ago. Dave Larson, do you like the 3 stages the WPBA has gone to? Well, I'm sure April does at the moment because she finished 3rd in the tournament. She had a lot of match practice in that. So what the WPBA have gone to, and I honestly thought they should have done it a while ago. So there's pros and cons to it. There's 3 stages. Some players come in on a Wednesday and they play, and then 8 players on the winner's side go through to the next day, day 2, and 8 players on the loser's side go through. Okay, so 16 players, and then day 2, the same thing. 8 players qualify for day 3, the main draw, and 8 players on the loser's side come through instead of playing all the way down. So pros and then you've got the main draw, which is the top 16 are into day 3, and they're playing qualifiers who've come through day 1 and 2. Pros and cons, there's a few. I haven't really thought about it too much yet, but the lower ranked players who come in at day 1 and 2, they pay a different entry fee. They pay half the entry fee. I think if day 1 is $250, I think day 2 is $350, and then day 3 is $500.
And you're in day 3.
Right, so that's one thing. But we have less hotel expenses because we come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the flip side is that, let's say a player comes in on day 1 and they win the tournament, because they've played more matches than, let's say, me, for example, they would get more points than me. So player, if you come back on tour, she's coming back on tour, she announced, you heard that here. Now she comes in at day 1 and she wins the tournament, she's going to get more points than if I come in on day 3, which I just did, and win the tournament.
So you get points per match?
You get points per match.
So that's unfair.
Well, but then I'm coming in 2 days later. But so the other side of the coin is I don't get warm-up matches. Not really warm-up, but some players, I'll give you an example. Let's take Chen Ximing, great player, like #1 in the world right now, and current world champion. She's in at day 2. She's had 2 warm-up matches. Now she would be a floater in the draw of the top 16, okay? Because she's coming from day 2. Let's say I drew her, and now she's played 2 matches already, and this is my first match. So there's the pros and cons about people who are warmed up, you know, and that means something. If you're a good player and you're playing a really good player, that's tough. So psychologically it's tough, but also they are used to the conditions a bit more. Now what I did this tournament actually is I went in a day early. I went in on Thursday just to escape the hurricane, to be honest with you. I was really up for this tournament, thinking there's no way I'm going to miss it. So I changed my flight to go in Thursday, just in case the hurricane hit. I was originally going out Friday. But anyway, that's nothing to do with stages of the tournament. But it did allow me to go in and have a look at some of the qualifiers, and it did allow me to practice on the tables a little bit. So,
do you learn anything when you watch? Do you learn anything about the table when you watch somebody play?
You can see where maybe the table's breaking well from, if the match before or some of the matches where players have, you know, favouring the break from, what's working, what's not. maybe if the table's kicking short or long. You know, so you can learn some things just by observation. But I learn more by watching players than maybe the equipment itself.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Techniques and things, little things.
Yeah. How important is maintaining your health in this game?
That was Mary Rakin who wrote that. I look back, Mary. I hope you're tuning in.
I like Mary. She's a great player.
Well, she is a great player, great attitude, great spirit. And she's lost a lot of weight. She's been working out really hard. Yeah. I think she could lift me up like that now and do that, a few push-ups above her head of me. Because I'm so wafer thin. Anyway, yeah, it's very important. I'm not physically that fit, not like I should be. So I actually do need to work out more and walk or whatever, yoga. I used to love doing yoga. I need to get back into that. But I do eat healthily. That's something I do make sure I do. And especially at tournaments, something I do at tournaments is in between matches, I'll take cat naps because I get tired.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age.
Goes without saying.
But that's one thing. But it also keeps me mentally. I go to my room. It's like recharging. I go to my room and I can actually lay down on my bed and just relax. It relaxes me. It recharges me. It relaxes my eyes because you're really using. I use my eyes a lot back and forth on the balls, and I'm really staring at the ball. So it's a very mentally tiring game. So actually, in between my, I'm not one of these people who's high energy and I can't sleep because I'm so high energy. I like to just keep my energy to myself, and I like to be on my own and just do my own thing. So everyone's different in that respect. But I did that this tournament. Eat little and often. Take snacks. So that you're not stuck, for food. I don't like to be I don't like to be really hungry when I play. But on the other hand, I'll never be full because you cannot think if you're full. So you definitely want to maybe leave it at least an hour and a half, 2 hours of eating, before you eat. You have to digest your food basically before you get out there and play.
What is your advice when handling an unsportsmanlike opponent?
I've played a few in my time. I should stop clicking because I heard that in another broadcast I did. Okay, so when you're playing somebody, it depends what they're doing for me, because some people I will go and say something to, or I'll say something to the referee. I'll ask the referee, can you say somebody's moving on the shot, for example? Or I'll just, I'll stand there and look at them till they stop.
Stare them down.
Yeah, kind of, because they know they're doing it. There's no reason somebody should be sitting there fiddling around, moving on your shot. Yeah. That just shouldn't happen.
Do you think there should be a penalty if they continue to do it? It's a bit controversial.
There should be warning.
Maybe a warning, yeah.
There's a warning, because some people really don't, they're fidgety and they don't know they're doing it. But there are a lot of players who know they're doing it. So that's one thing.
It was interesting.
If they're misbehaving away from, they're like throwing balls on the table or cussing or things like that, usually they would be warned about that misbehaviour.
But it's interesting what you said about getting the referee involved, because in your match against Guy Young,
there aren't referees in some matches.
Or you get an official, ask the official to approach the opponent. In your match against Guy Young, you had a shot. You were very close to the 9 ball.
Oh yeah.
And you had to elevate your cue, and you could have fouled, but you called Dean over.
Yeah, because there's no way. It was very close. It was about a quarter of an inch, I would say, from what I remember. The cue ball. Can we draw the shot?
Yeah.
Let me just get my graphic artist on this.
Hang on, I need to get another bit. Another table.
She's just getting another table for you, because you don't want to mix them up.
You played a great 8 ball before that, actually.
Well, let's stick. All right. Stick.
Okay, I don't
finish that.
All right.
Thought.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
9 ball.
So
Something
I
like
played a really nice 8 ball going around the table, I think, and I landed literally on top of the 9, very close to it. I went behind the 9. Luckily for me,
I'm going to draw
it landed with a straight-in shot into the corner. So I had to go length of the table, and I had to jack up so I didn't do a double hit. There's no way you could have hit the shot with a level cue. So I kind of basically called Dean over, who's our tournament director, and Guyon walked around to have a look at the shot, and here's a shot from Kim.
I thought it was slightly off.
She's done like a sort of a football pitch here, I think. Anyway.
I did the D. Look.
Right there. Right. So into this corner pocket. See how close I am?
You really should turn it upside down the other way. That's better.
That's really the way it should. Let me poke out from the side. So I had to elevate the cue and basically pop it like that with enough speed to get to the corner pocket. Really happy with that shot. That came out really well.
Yeah.
Made the shot like it was nothing, like shelling peas, and got on with the next rack. But yeah, I will call the referee on myself, pull them out there to make sure that, or if my opponent has a shot where I think this could be tricky, you can always ask the opponent if they feel like we should have a referee there to call it. If you're not sure, get a referee. But sometimes there aren't referees around, and you just happen to. I played somebody in China, and we had a referee. The girl hit the ball. She was aiming to thinly slice a ball, but there was a ball in front of it. She could only see a slither, but the front ball moved first.
Yeah.
And the referee didn't call a foul, and she's there. And
did she say anything?
She didn't say anything. And I said it was a foul, wasn't it? And she went. And then the referee looked at the girl, and the girl went, "No, Chinese girl I was playing." And I said, "But it was a foul." Anyway, there's nothing I can do about that.
Oh.
But to be honest with you, if you're the player in that situation, I think you know when you fouled because you would see that ball move first.
Yeah.
So if I know that I've done a foul, I'm admitting it straight away. I think we might have mentioned in one of the other broadcasts, I was playing Gerda once in the US Open final. And she played a shot, and I couldn't, I think it was a sort of one of those shots where it's a simultaneous hit, okay, which isn't a foul. And Steve, our tournament director, called a foul, but I could see Gerda was really upset with the call. So I asked for a replay.
Oh, it's televised.
That was televised.
Excellent.
So I said, let's just stop the match because I never want the opponent to be unhappy with a call and they're feeling really bad and because they're not mentally right then. You're not playing somebody who's mentally right. So we did do the replay and it wasn't a foul. So she carried on from where the ball was.
Yeah.
So I was pleased with that because I felt good about that.
Would you have asked for the replay had it been you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. If I feel like I haven't fouled, if I can get a replay, I will. I'll ask. And if they say no, then I will stand my ground. I will. Because there's no reason why they shouldn't. So what if it takes an extra 5 minutes?
Good.
You know. So yeah, I always have the courage to stop playing because it means a lot.
Yeah.
Winning and losing means a lot.
Somebody from Greece, I'm not going to pronounce his name. I'm in trouble this evening.
It probably ends in os.
It's Papadopoulos or something. Sorry, Nikos. Do you prefer 9 ball, 10 ball, or 8 ball?
Oh, 10 ball, I think. And I don't really play 8 ball because we don't really have any tournaments of 8 ball. Not to say that we never will. 10 ball, I like it. There's not really two-way shots in it, and there's not so much luck. And 9 ball, yeah, there can be some luck. You know, you could hit a ball, not play it in a certain pocket, make it, and then the break can be a big factor. You know, it might be easy to make. Hi, Shane from OBQZ, thank you. It's hard for me to watch that and talk. Multitasking is not my forte. That's why we have Kim here, keep me on track.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying? There's an example. Shane, that was your fault. See, she doesn't know what we were saying either. Sorry, 10 ball. 10 ball, then 9 ball, then 8 ball, I guess.
So you said you can get lucky 9 ball. Yeah. Can't you get lucky 10 ball? Or do you have to call your...
No, you have to call shots.
Oh, okay.
You can't fluke balls, and you can't have two-way shots. You can't, like, you know, bank that ball and play the cue ball into the 9. You can't do two things. You either bank that ball or you call the 9.
Oh.
Kim doesn't understand.
I don't understand that. No,
it's okay.
Okay,
move on. Julie Gillespie in Scotland. Hayden, you, Jimmy.
What's she doing now?
I should say Hayden, you, Julie. That's terrible. Terrible accent.
Isn't she in the USA at the moment?
Are you? Are you here, Julie? Answer us. Answer us.
Flying across the Atlantic.
I don't know if that was a while ago or not. And if you're up in Scotland, why are you up?
Yes. Got work tomorrow, Julie.
Yeah.
Joss Dickey, are you coming over to the Moscone Cup?
That's in early December. It kind of falls at a funny time because it's not quite Christmas. Maybe, you never know. But I will say that my brother will be there. I need to ask to get some tickets for that from Matchroom. So Luke, if you're watching, can I get some tickets for my brother, please? Thank you. Okay. Moving on, moving swiftly on. How do you keep focused? I've got that here. Well, that's good. Let's see. I had no problem at this last weekend keeping focused. I was totally in it all the whole way. I never lost my focus, I don't think, in one match. I played Vivian, and I won 8-2, I think, or 8-3. And then I played Chen Ximing Chen, and I won 8-2. That was a really nice match because, as I said, she's current world #1, great player. And then I played Gai Young, and I won to get on the hot seat 8-3. Good first match, and then the final 10-9, fantastic match. But we played for 3.5 hours, and it never felt like that to me. I knew it was long, but I didn't think it was that long because I was so in the zone playing her. And we just had some funny racks that were absolutely, it was the best match ever for me. I really enjoyed it because it had everything in it. It had fantastic kicking in it. You know, at times when I thought, I've got her now, you know, if she kicks that, it was one of the eat my hat moments, Kim. Remember that?
Yeah, that's another great
I thought, I've got her now. I finally got her. And she kicked 2 rails, clipped the ball, and hooked me behind the ball. And there's 3 balls on the table. And I could have won, you know. And I'm like, how does that happen? I mean, I said it was a great shot. But inside, I was like, I can't believe that just happened. It was fantastic. But then I kicked back a 2-rail shot, which was a fantastic shot, if I say so myself. And she only had 1 shot. She didn't have a safety. She had to go for a combo to slice the 8 in the corner, a 5-8 combo. And she made it, and it was a fantastic shot because she sent the 5. She planned it all. Sent the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 rails to land in front of the pocket where the cue ball, she brought the cue ball out, and it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I just see something for you, Kim, a little compliment for you. Damon Michael Ziki, I think. Your graphic artist. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you, Damon.
New career.
It is.
New career.
Yeah, I need to get a new pen. Julie's moved to Dallas, by the way.
Julie in Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to get together one day.
Dallas, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, she's moved anyway.
From Scotland to Dallas.
Stateside.
That's crazy. How did that happen? Right. Eric Kinks, what's the most money you've played for? I've played for $60,000 twice, which was the ESPN Ultimate Challenge. Fantastic. I've actually done it 3 times, I think. 4 times. Am I lucky? God, I won 2 of them.
Oh, well done.
Jeanette won 1, and I think Vivian won 1. So, wow, lucky me. Glad you asked that.
Denise Bollinger, what happened when you missed that 7 ball to win? I can't remember the 7 ball.
8 ball.
It was 10-7. I wonder if
I should have
miscued.
I should have won the match 10-7, right? This is what happened. I'm going to tell you.
Do we need another graphic?
No, we don't.
Oh, well, I'm going to do it.
Well, if you remember the 8, you can write it out. You can do what you want. You can make up something. Anyway.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
I don't remember the.
That's all I can say. We took a break. We came back from the break, and I shot ahead in the match 8-5, I think it was. Then it came 8-6. Anyway, bottom line is, fast forward. I'm on 9-7, and I'm playing an out to win. And I didn't quite get a hold of the 6 ball the way I wanted, and I landed a little funny on the 7, so I had to cut into the corner.
I've got the 8 ball that you miscued on.
All right, give me that, please.
Okay, there you go.
Graphic artist. So the 7 ball's up here, and the cue ball is here. Cue ball. Right. I'm just starting here, right? I'm a bit closer to the right. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at art. Cue ball is a bit closer, so I'm having to roll the 7, but the table's playing quite fast. But I roll it thinking, well, as long as I roll it, you know, try and soft roll, but make it enough speed that I make the board, that there's going to be no funny contacts, etc. So I come down the table, and that's where I land. See where Kim's put me here.
Let's see. Cue
ball. Literally, I'm too close to the 8, but I do have a couple of shots that I can see. That's actually quite a good picture of the shot. Pockets look like buckets there, though, Kim. Anyway, let me talk you through it. I'm there thinking about what to do. So the first shot, obviously I wanted to make it in the corner initially, and I'm thinking, yeah, make it in the corner. I can go soft roll behind the 9, but I didn't really, that was possible. Playing 2 rails behind the 9 into the other corner pocket where the 7 went. And I didn't really like it. So then I looked at, trying to think, well, I made a terrible decision is the bottom line. What I tried to do, and I don't think I rushed it. I don't think I did, because I think I took long sort of thinking about the shot. And I've played this shot a lot. Anyway, I chalk my cue and I get up, but I'm in a little bit of an uncomfortable position on the table. So I'm elevated again, and I'm playing the shot with low left spin. And what I'm trying to do is do that little dinky shot where you get a little bit of draw on it. And if it bumps the 9, I'm okay, because I'm putting that left spin on to come away from the 9 to give me a shot into the corner. And what happens? I miscue. Devastating. I miscued to win 10-7. So now I keep my cool. Instead of being that player we were talking about earlier who's unsportsmanlike conduct and throwing a tantrum, I walked straight back to my seat like nothing had happened. Really, it's tearing me up inside, of course. And Best Actress Award.
Yes.
Goes to, this is my Oscar.
That's your Karen.
Oscar. Anyway, so actually, let me take that. Oh no.
We need to.
Here we go.
I'll get a blowtorch.
No.
That'll come off next time. Don't worry.
Anyway, I got the cue instead.
It looks
like a matchmaker. Do you remember matchmakers? Or it looks like those little pokey chocolate things. Anyway, I miscued, so I go sit in my seat like nothing's happening. And wow, so now it's, what is it? 9-8, 9-9. It's making me choke thinking about it. Hyperventilating. So it's 9-9 and I'm breaking, and it all went wrong. I scratched in the side pocket. Anyway, it's a moment, and I thought, well, the way the thing went was, I think in that game before, I'd had a chance at banking the 1 in the corner. We'd played a couple of shots, but no, it was in the final game, I think it was. It was. I came with some really great bank shots in that match, but in the final game, we're back and forth on safety. Really good stuff. And then I had a chance at a long bank on the one, and I didn't take it. I was really debating it. I thought, if I go for this, it's win or lose.
I thought you were going to do it.
And I was right on the verge of doing it because I'd played so many good banks in the match. Long banks we're talking too on a diamond. And I so nearly did it. And then at the last minute, I thought, no, I'll play save because it's an easy save and I'm guaranteed. Anyway, I left her a window of splitting the balls to the side rails. I left her a little window of opportunity, and she played a great bank shot because it was a soft bank shot. She didn't hit it hard, and she rolled it, and she hit it perfectly. And I thought, well, that's it now. She's got the match, and she deserves it because that was a courageous shot. If she misses, she's selling out. And I thought right in that moment, she had a bit more courage than me. So I thought, well, you know, I was justifying it in my mind. And the next thing you know, she plays the 3 ball with high inside English. For some reason, didn't get enough spin on it, I suppose. Hit it wrong, whatever, slowed down, it decelerated, and caught the 2 balls near the side. So the 6 and 7 were together, I think. And she bumped them and didn't get a shot on the 5.
Yeah.
And then she played a thin 5, safe. And then I played a really good safety back in between the balls.
Yeah, that's some great safety.
Just trying to think what happened then. Denise will know. Because she brought it all up in the first
well, but she thought it was a 7, so I'm not sure about that.
So then, oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. So I hooked her, I snookered her, and I thought, brilliant, right? Again, brilliant shot. And so in my mind, I'm back in it now. I've gone from, yeah, well, I've lost it. Yeah. Now I'm like, it's back, it's coming back. She's done another 2-rail kick to try and bank the 5 cross corner. Brilliant shot, underhit it, whatever, and it landed by the pocket, and I had a window. And I leapt out my seat like,
Linford Christie,
that you won't know. Some of you would if you're from England. This was back in the day. He was a great sprinter.
Usain Bolt. There we go.
Usain Bolt. How do you say his name?
I don't. Is it Usain Bolt?
It's Usain, I think. Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Carl
Jamaica.
Lewis, there we go.
Carl
Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah. We're just
now showing our age.
So then, anyway, and then I had that gap, and I shoot the 3 and then land. I thought just get through that gap to get a shot on the 5, and I got basically a shot on the 5, played it in the corner, stunned it off the rail, rolled the 6. That was a bit nerve-wracking to roll the ball, and then had the 7. And the 7 I had to play like a short draw shot to get on the 8, but I thought just leave yourself an angle on the 8. And then when I was on the 8, I just said to myself, right, now hit that rail and make sure you get enough spin to go down for the 9, and I landed perfectly. So it all worked out, and my God, at the end of it, when I shot the 9, I just collapsed on the table in a heap because it was exhausting. It was the match went back and forth, and it was absolutely fantastic. Win or lose, I mean, it was a fantastic match. So I was really happy to be a part of that. Great match. So exciting. So exciting.
Like I said, it was really
anyway, that was a long-winded answer to the miscue on the 8.
I think we've got a cue to give away.
Shall we do that?
Let's do it.
Da, da, da. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to throw it over to you.
Who?
Not you.
Oh.
Right. I want the next person who I see on the feed, or Kim can see it before I see it, right? And you've got the first person you see, we're going to pick a number between 1 and 21. Okay. All right?
All right,
so the first number that we see between 1 and 21. Somebody throw a number out there.
Right. Okay.
Between 1 and 21.
Still waiting. 19.
19.
John Morton, 19.
19. And the winner is, you've picked Susie Water has just won the queue.
Oh.
I have numbered people who answered in between questions. I went through it today, and Susie Water has won the queue.
Oh, well done, Susie.
Yeah, congratulations. So let me show you
where to send it to.
You can only get it if you answer this question, Susie. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. Right, here we go. This is coming to you, Susie Water. If you're not out there, you're not going to get it. If you don't answer in the next 5 minutes.
I haven't actually seen Susie.
Susie, better be there.
Somebody's congratulating Susie.
Someone, there you go. You're going to win that queue. Well done. An Allison Fisher queue. Susie. We like you, Susie. Thank you for answering the question correctly.
Hey, that's a Susie queue.
This is Susie's queue. I'm going to get rid of her.
I'm a graphic artist.
That's true. We do need a graphic artist in the room. Yeah. Congratulations. That's exciting, isn't it? So, Susie.
Oh, yeah, she's on.
Are you on, Susie? Are you on? Great. Well done. Congratulations. Yeah, why don't you send Kim or something? I don't know. Or PM me. Send it. We're going to need your address to ship it to you. So I also want to talk. Well done. Congrats. That shows that somebody's listening.
Yeah.
Just a quick mention then. I played in the NAPT tournament probably about a month ago. And just a quick mention to a shout out, really. I played a lady called Molly. I don't know how you say her last name. Bontrager, I think. Bontrager, I'm going to guess that. And wow, she was a great player. I was really impressed. She predominantly plays on 7-foot tables. And I think she sneaks on a 9-foot now and again. But she played a really great match. So just wanted to mention that. You can pay me later, Molly, all right?
Molly, I watched that. She was
really good. Really good. Very impressed. Denise, you were too late with the number 17 there. But look at Barbara. Look, she's thinking the same way as you. And I'm not going to say who it would have been because that would be wrong to mention who could have won the queue. That's not right. So we'll do something else next time. We won't mention any other numbers. Although, Martha, I just want to say you were next on the list if somebody had picked a different number.
If somebody had picked her number?
Yeah, but if somebody had picked the one next to 19, I think.
Oh, was that 13? I think 13 was...
What's after 19?
No, I'm on about the second person. The second person to pick up.
Oh, no. That would have been somebody else. But I can't mention names because they'd be gutted that they didn't win it. So, sorry.
Oh, no. I know what's after 19. It's 20.
She's right. Amazing. But anyway, are we doing any more questions? Ethan, the most handsome man that owns a pool room that I know.
That's the guy in New York.
That's the guy who mentioned himself last week.
The guy who's not vain.
No, he's definitely not vain.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah, great. When are we going to do the next one?
Oh,
it's 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's way past my bedtime. I've got to say goodnight to my son. He's probably asleep by now. But listen, thank you everyone for joining in again. I know why it took so long. It's because I spent so much telling you about time on that miscue on the 8 ball that I did another 2 racks, I think, didn't I? But anyway, it was worth it. Totally worth it. That's all I've got to say. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Kim, for your graphic art. Thank you for questions. Thank you for giving us questions here because we need you to keep this going. And I would guess and venture to say, please keep looking out on this Facebook Live page. We'll be doing another one.
We will, yeah.
We will be doing a number 5.
Yeah.
Due by popular demand. Thank you.
Like and share, please.
Like and share, please. We very much appreciate that. And soon we will be going to the table. I'm just building this up a lot. Soon we will be going to the table. Not sure when. We are at my kitchen table right now, but we're going to the table with a cloth on it. Maybe the dining table. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll move slowly.
Yeah, if you're interested in the cues, go to AllisonFisherCues.com and follow us here. And good night and God bless everyone. My mum has gone to bed apparently. She doesn't want to listen to me anymore. So thank you, Kim. Thank you. And we will see you next time. All right. Thanks very much. Bye.